Okay, fine, 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 no problem. Please watch that video, please. No, yesterday we have not recorded anything. Only Shravani is there, right? So we have not done anything. So day before yesterday video I shared. Please watch that video. So okay, see. Have you downloaded JMeter on your system? Anything is okay. Anything is okay. Anything is okay. No problem. I shared one link, right? Through that link, you try to download. Any version is okay, not a problem. But try to download through the link which I shared in WhatsApp group. Okay. Once you download, it will be like this. Try to extract this. Once you extract, go here, open the pin. So this Apache JMeter, this symbol, if you won't find the symbol like this, instead of this, if you find the symbol like this, what you need to do is you need to install the Java. I told you, right? You need to install Java. Simply, if you are using Windows 10 or Windows 11, simply download Java for Windows 10. Like that, you try to install the Java. So download and Java install. Click on this. Once you install the Java, for some systems it is already installed. For some machines, it will be already installed. You will find this symbol. Okay. If you won't find this symbol, then only you try to install the JMeter. Now install the Java. Okay, fine. So once you open the JMeter, it will look like this Apache JMeter. Okay. So JMeter is a very handy tool. It's very simple tool, unlike LoadRunner. It's very simple tool. So basically, it have test plan. First thing, it will have some test plan. After that, you have to create a thread group. Under test plan, you have to create a thread group. So what is the importance of thread group means? So under this thread group, you are recording the script. HTTP requests, like HTTP requests. So there are multiple requests under thread group. So what is the importance of thread group means? I told you, right? So if you number of users, if you want to run this test with 1,000 users, so 1,000 you have to provide. Ramp up duration 1 second every one user. In the sense, it took 1,000 seconds to ramp up all the 1,000 users. Okay. So infinity, how many loops you want to iterate? If you want to iterate every user with 10 iterations, otherwise infinite time you want to iterate, it will send iterate infinite time. So if you want to run the test with 10 minutes, provide 600 seconds means 10 minutes, right? So if you select this, it will run the test with 10 minutes. If you want to run the test with 20 minutes, 1200. So this is the importance of thread group. So do the settings. So if and check this, save it. For example, if you are unable to build this thread group, test plan, HTTP request, I told you, right? You have a template. Click on this. Click on this template symbol. Templates. Okay. This is templates. Click on this templates. Click on recording template or recording template. Create. Create. Yes. So it will create a recording template for you. This is the standard by default template. So user defined variables request. So like this, it will create a default template. So how to start recording the script? How to start recording the script using JMeter? So first thing you have to do is you have to enable this Control T shortcut to enable this. Otherwise, if it is disabled, what you have to do is right click on this, enable. Click on enable. It will automatically enable this. So once it is enabled, go to target controller where you want to record your script. Click on this, select test plan, HTTP test script recorder. Under test plan, where you are trying to record HTTP test script recorder. Here you are trying to record. Select the test plan, HTTPS test script recorder. Okay, click on start. It will automatically record. So go to the browser. Um, what is that URL for JPEG store? This one, right? JPEG store. Okay, click on fish, click on dogs, stop recording. So let me check so whether the events are recording or not. If you see, yes, recording. See, this is an unwanted request, right? This is not our URL. So if you see mozilla.org.in this is not our URL. What is our URL? Our URL should start with jpetstoreoctopuff.com. petstoreoctopuff.com. That is our URL. So if you found any unwanted request, simply delete it, remove. Are you sure you want to remove? Yes, I want to remove it, but because it is not my request. And again check. Yes, this is my URL. Check. See, is this my URL or not? Is this our required URL? Anyone? No. So simply remove this. This is not our required URL. Next, check this. This is also not our required URL. Remove. Yes. Check this. This is not my URL. Punch. Remove. Check this. Check this. Check this. Check this. Yes. These two are not our unwanted. These two are not our required URL. So what you will do? Control. Select both. Remove. Remove. Yes. It will automatically delete. So if you see, yeah. Okay. See, we click on dogs, right? Dogs. We clicked on fish, right? Fish. These are all requests. These are all the requests. So all this, if you see, this is an HTTP request. This is one more HTTP request. This is one more HTTP request. What is this request? We clicked on dogs, right? Here, dogs. That request. This is that request. Okay. Once you record your script, I shown you in the previous video. Please follow that video. Once the script is recorded, copy these three, cut here, cut here. This is our actual template thread group. So go to our actual thread group. Recording controller also you can delete it. Add a logic controller, transaction controller. You have to add transaction controller. On the transaction controller, Control V. Simply paste it. You cut here, you paste there. Okay. So this HTTP test script recorder is only used for recording the samples. That's it. It won't help you for execution. In order to execute, you need a transaction controller. Okay. So disable. We recorded the script. After recording, disable this HTTP test script recorder. So after you disable, it won't be worked. So now what you are going to do? Now you run the script. This is the button to run the script. So after running the script, if you want to see the output, you need a view results tree. Here you will get some output. So for that, for example, initially it will be not there. For example, if initially it is not there, what you have to do is right click on the thread group, add listeners. Listeners. So go to listeners, add view results tree. Okay, save the script. No need to save also. Run. Okay, before that you need to save the script. Okay, view one. Yes, there. If you run, you will get an output. You will get an output like this. Click on this sample so that the output will be beautiful. So okay, under transaction controller we have three samples, correct? 1, 2, 3. Under transaction controller we have three requests. So these are the three requests. For every request we are getting 200 response. 200 response means successful code. HTTP status code 200 means what it means? So the response is successfully delivered. Okay, so this is the request we are sending and this is the response. We got this response. For this request, this is the response. Okay, for this request, this is the response. For this request, this is the response. For each and every request, in Vusion where we are seeing the request and response. In Vusion where we are seeing the request and response. Snapshot view, right? We go to snapshot view. There we see the request and response, right? Correct. For example, for this request, if you want to check the response, right click on it, go to snapshot, Here we are seeing this is the request, this is the request, and this is the response, correct? In response we got 200, so this is the response. So similarly in JMeter we see the for every request, this is the request and this is response. This is the request for this particular request, and this is the response of this request. This is the response of this request. This is the response of this request. Okay, so like this we have to check the request and response. So there are some important things. For example, if you want to find the response time, so where we are getting the response times here, see view results tree listener will just show you the request and response. That's it. If you want to check the response times, average response times and all, what you have to do is simply right click on the thread group, add, go to listeners, add the aggregate report, add aggregate report. Now clear view results tree. If you want to clear view results tree, this is the button you have to use. Clear the view results tree, save the script, replay. Okay, see, this is the average. This is the average, and this is the median. 90 percentile, 95 percentile, 99 percentile, minimum, maximum, error. There is no error. So this is the throughput. Okay. So what is the average to compute these three transactions is 839 milliseconds. 839 milliseconds. Okay. We got it. So okay, if you want to check the response times, you need aggregate report. Okay, if you want to check the request and response for every sample, you need view results tree. View results tree is used to check the request and response of the every sample, whereas aggregate report is used to calculate the response times. Okay, see, if you delete this, if you remove this, and if you run the script, you will get request and response, but where is the response time? Where is the response time? Correct. So if you want to get some response times for each and every request, add, go to listener, add aggregate report. If you add aggregate report, see, this time instead of one user, I will run with two users, two iterations. Okay, save the script, clear everything. See, everything is cleared. Replay. Now check. See, 4 samples, correct? 4 samples. This is the average response time. This is the average response time. Okay. Now you see this is 4 times. What is the thread? 2 times, 2 users. Loop count is 2. So one user will iterate for 2 times. So totally 2 users, 4 times. If I click on infinity and if I select flat lifetime as 30 seconds, I will give 30 seconds. Okay. Only one user, I will iterate it for infinite times. 30 seconds is my test duration. My test duration is 30 seconds. Now go to view results tree, clear everything. Before start of test, clear the previous test results. Clear everything, save the script and replay. If you replay, see, here you will see the time. Here you will see the time. Elapsed time of current running test. So what is the time we have done? 30 seconds, right? It will run for 30 seconds and it will automatically stop the script. See, now the script is running. Please carefully check here and here. It will automatically stop after 30 seconds because the duration we have provided is 30 seconds. See, it automatically stops after 30 seconds. Now the report is, see, 62 samples has been recorded, and this is the average response time. Okay, this is how you can run the test in JMeter. JMeter is very handy when it compares to LoadRunner, because see, in terms of LoadRunner, for scripting you need VUGen, for text execution you need controller, for analysis you need analysis, correct? But analysis and all we can't do we can't do much analysis in JMeter unless until we have an APM tool. We can't do much analysis in JMeter because JMeter will show only the average time, median, 90 percentile, maximum, errors. That's it. So it using JMeter we can't do much analysis and we can't identify the bottlenecks. But using LoadRunner, we have a clear analysis tool. Okay, we can do analysis and find the bottlenecks. So, but in JMeter will record the script as well as for text executions also. We do text executions also in the JMeter. Simply, we don't need controller to do text executions. Yeah. Yes. 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 A JMeter as well we can do. So the only thing is, we need to create a separate thread group for it. For that, we need to add some plugins. Okay. With the help of plugins, we can add some thread groups. Okay, where is that? Okay, here. Step up thread group, tear down thread group. If you see step up thread group and tear down thread group, so not these two. If you want to add more thread groups, only thing what you have to do is click on this button. This one. Where to add plugins? I forgot. Plugin manager. Such options, tools, file. Some plugin manager is there. You have to add that plugin manager. This is a symbol on the top. Not this one. File. Look and feel. Where is plugin manager? It is not showing. 1 second. Okay. See what we have to do. If you are unable to see this plugin manager here or this symbol here, what you have to do? You have to go to this URL. You have to go to that URL and download this jar file. Download this jar file and place this jar file in the libxtensive folder. Go to JMeter under lib under ext. You have to place that jar file. Copy that jar file. So once you copy that jar file and if you restart the JMeter, you will automatically find a plugin here. Okay, this plugin you will find. So once you find this plugin, whatever the plugin you want, you can add it from this database. Okay, now click on thread groups. So see, earlier we have only two, right? Now see how many thread groups are there. Step up, stepping thread group, ultimate thread group. See, this is the ultimate thread group. So if you see, this is what you can create. You can add one more row. So here starting thread group, I will give as 10. Here 20. So like this, you can perform multiple uh, mm, test kind of thing. Okay. Initial delay, for example, 1 second. Startup time, hold time. Hold time means how many number of time, shutdown time, ramp down, ramp up. So this UI is little bit different. Okay. So if you want, you can add one more thread group also. Concurrency thread group, ultimate thread group. So this is the concurrency thread group. Okay. Like this, see, by default it won't come. So you need to install the plugin manager, and from plugin manager you have to install these thread groups so that you can run any kind of test. Similar any kind of test like control test, volume test, okay, spike test. Okay, such kind of test we can design similar to the load runner in the JMeter. Okay. By default, all these things will not come. So you have to add a plugin manager and you have to add some thread groups. So for example, here you see, you simply add the script, click on OK. Everything will be pre-installed in load runner, but on JMeter, nothing will be installed. We need to install manually only. So okay. So simply what we are doing here, If you want to go by real world scenario, we are adding the users. Before that, click on basic schedule. Yes, here we are adding the quantity 100, correct? 100 users, real world scenario. So run for example, if you are running the test, run for 1 hour. Okay, 0100, apply. Okay, this test will run for 1 hour, and this is a ramp down duration. Again, if you want to add anything, you can add it here. So this is how we design in the load runner, right? Similarly, if you want to design such kind of scenarios in JMeter, like this you can design. Okay, this is, yeah, purely this depends on your requirements. So what is the kind of test you want to do? Otherwise, you don't want to do such kind of test. You want to do the basic test. Simply normal thread group is enough. This normal thread group is enough. Simply run 100 users with 1 second of ramping duration. Run 100 users for infinite loop. You want to run it only for the 10 minutes. 10 minutes means 600 seconds. Yeah, this is one scenario. If your scenario is not such kind of thing, go for ultimate and thread group. Multiple threads, multiple things are there for you. You can add, you can design the scenario, and you can run. You don't have such requirement, go for simple thread group and run the below this. Record the script. For recording the script, I told you, right? HTTP requests. Okay, create HTTP request. Or simply, if you are confusing, you have any confusion, simply go to this, go to recording template, create. No. Oh, yes, okay. So it will create a recording template. So here also you can add such kind of scenarios. Thread group, create an ultimate thread group. It will be created. So now record the script here. Instead of moving after recording, I told you, right? After recording, you have to add a transaction controller here. You have to delete the recording controller. You have to add transaction. Instead of this, you create a transaction controller here and add the scripts which are recorded here. Move the scripts to here. Move the request to here. Okay, we'll try to do it one. Enable this, or you can directly move it here also. There is no issue, it's depending on you. So enable this and select here where you want to record your script. Where you want to record, if you want to record it here, test plan JPGC. JP means JMeter thread group, ultimate thread group, transaction controller. If you select this, here the request will be recorded. Click on start. Yes, allow access. Click on OK. Go to browser. Refresh this. Click on this product. Birds, cats, reptiles, dogs, fish. One product. Stop recording. Go to JMeter. Where will be recorded now? Where will be samples? Tell me where samples will be present. Where samples will present now? In this target. JPGC transaction control. If you see here, all the samples will be there. Check for your, see, this is not my sample, correct? Delete it. Check, this is also not my sample. Remaining all are my samples. This one is not my sample. Remove this. Okay, now automatically. Yes, sorry. Correct. See, if you found, see here you are confusing, right? Which sample belongs to which one? Which sample belongs to which one? So you should watch my previous video. In previous video, I clearly tell. Hmm. Compulsory. Every sample, every request must be under any one of the transaction controller. What is the importance of transaction controller? Means if you want to get some response times, for example, see, I saved this. And instead of transaction controller, this is dog. Let it be. I named it as a dog. I add let it be control X. We will decide it here only. Control T. Disabling this as well. So instead of transaction controller, I will add a recording controller. Let it be logic controller. Recording controller is not here. So it will come by default. Okay. Okay. Recording controller is here. So yeah, I will cut some samples and paste it here. Okay. Now see, this is transaction controller. This is controller. Now I want to check the results. See, if you see the samples under this is 1, 4. I will make it 2. Why it will be 4? 1, 2, 3, 4th sample. This is 5th sample. This is 6th sample. 7th sample. And this is 8th sample. Okay. I'm saving this, clearing everything, and replay. If you see, okay, generate parent sample. Once I am clearing this, saving, replying. See, this is transaction controller. Under transaction controller, I have dog. Under dog, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8 also I am getting, right? I am getting the request and response for 7, 8 also. Now I will add what I want to count the response time. So go to listeners, add view results tree. So sorry, aggregate report. Now okay, aggregate report. Save this. Simply drag and drop. You can do drag and drop. That handy tool this one is. So if you go to aggregate report, so okay. So see what it is saying. Whatever the transactions under transaction controller, so everything in combine it will show one response time. So if these are it is showing 7 and 8, it is showing the individual response time. For 7 and 8, it is showing the individual response time. But under transaction controller, it is showing the entire group response time. Why? Because why we have to do under transaction controller means, please check it here. So control shift I. So I am launching this page. I am refreshing this page. If you refresh this page, please check it here. How many requests are there? If you see, 8 requests are there. 8 requests are there. I am clearing it once again. There. Okay. I am clearing it once again. I am clearing all the samples. I am refreshing this. And I go back to here. See how many samples are there? 8 requests are there. It means that launching the dashboard is one transaction, correct? Launching the dashboard is one transaction. For one transaction, how many requests are there? 8 requests are there. Once again, I clear it. This time I will do login. Jojo. So this is one login transaction. If I hit on login, yes, welcome Jojo. Login happens. But if you go to here, how many requests are there? 7 requests are there. So if you want to compute the response time for login transaction, all these 7 requests must be under one transaction controller. Must be under one transaction controller. Okay, this is login. So all these requests belongs to login. All these 7 requests belongs to login transaction. All these 7 requests belongs to login transaction. Okay, now I will clear it. So now I try to hit on itinerary button. So what is the response time taken to display the itinerary button? I want to check. So if you go here, see 9 requests are there. If you hit on itinerary button, 9 requests are there. So all these 9 requests must be under one transaction controller. Then only it will show the average of that 9 requests. That is the importance of transaction controller. If something is there under transaction controller, this is also a transaction controller. See, login transaction controller. So you don't want to do like this also. Control X. Here you will place this. You will delete. If you place it here, this is login transaction controller. Login transaction controller. Okay. So all these 9 requests are placed under one transaction controller. If you place all the requests under one transaction controller, it will show the entire response time for that all 7 requests. Okay. But if you place something under recording controller, it is not grouping them. It is not grouping them. It is displaying as a separate request and separate response time. So that is the importance of transaction controller. Okay, I will add one more transaction controller, and I name it as for example, and I name it as a sign off. Okay, and I name it as a sign off, and I cut control X, and I paste it here, and I delete this recording controller. If I replay, now go to clear this replay. See, why 700 are displaying? Okay, generate parent sample. You have to click on generate parent sample, clear this replay. Now see, so what is the time taken? So there are 6 requests. For login, time taken is 1.2 seconds. There are 2 requests for sign off, time taken is 320 milliseconds. So that is the importance of transaction control. This is sign off transaction controller. This is login transaction controller. Every request must be under any one of the transaction controller to check the response time in order to verify the response time for that particular transaction. Fine. So every transaction is having multiple requests. If you see here, clear this. I will go back and I click on flights button. If I click on flights button, clicking on flights, all these 8 requests must be under any one of the transaction controller. Any one of the transaction controller. Then only we will get the response time for that all 8 requests. Okay, in combined. Is it clear? Is it clear?